Hi everybody, welcome to Permagora. I'm here today with the legendary Matt Farley.
Thank you, it's great to be here.
Yeah, Matt and I are having a reunion. It's been 14 years since we met in Big Bend National Park in Texas back in '03. It was a chance meeting. We happened to cross paths and he gave us some of his CDs and he's become a legend in my friends' circle and in my family. We all know a lot of Matt's songs, and we just did a podcast where we talked about a lot of these things, but for my audience I want to share a little bit about how we met and how we've stayed in touch over the years. We met each other that time in Big Bend, and then we got in touch like 5 years later. I wrote him an email because I still had some of his CDs that had an address on them, and he sent me a movie, and I didn't realize until then that he also made movies. So before I go into all the details of that, why don't you tell us yourself some of what you do, because you're a musician, you're a writer, you do these long walks, you do these movies. Tell us about all of the work you do.
Basically, I'm just, I can't stop making stuff, you know? So, if I haven't been creative, I feel like it's been a waste of the day. And so I've been relentlessly making music and movies for the most part. I do a monthly newsletter, and then when I'm not doing all that, I also like to go on epic long walks. I once rode my bicycle all the way down the East Coast.
Wow.
That was pretty fun. Yeah. But I was traveling in '03 when I met Eric and his friends, and I didn't have their contact info, but they were like my only people. People say, "Did you meet any cool people on your travels?" And thank God I met you guys, because otherwise I'm not good at meeting people, I don't think, or something, you know, but it worked out that evening at Big Bend, and it was one of the highlights of my trip, just hanging out, talking with people, which you'd think would have happened more. When you traveled around, were you good at meeting people, or what?
I do okay at it.
Yeah.
I am not, like you, I'm not super good at just like going up to people.
Yeah.
But where I've met the most people is when I'm either like doing yoga or playing guitar in the park in public, and people come up to me.
Yeah, or if you have a dog.
Yeah, having a dog helps. I haven't, but yeah, having a cute little baby, yeah, something like that.
Bring a baby just to meet people.
But yeah, we both have kind of gone through this sort of pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, trying to make a career out of your creativity by going out in the world and just sharing it with people. And the result, I think, for both of us has been a lot of people are like, oh, interesting. And, you know, it's not like, you know, going on TV and all of a sudden getting a thousand emails from people who saw you on TV.
Right.
But we'll get to the TV thing in a minute, because you went on TV recently, did you not?
Yeah, I'm wearing the t-shirt.
You went on Tonight Show. I still haven't seen it. I just found out about it, but I'm going to watch it. I'm going to share the link. You guys got to check out Matt Farley.
Can I say,
yeah.
I've given out CDs just on the streets. Hey, you want a free CD? And then I'm doubling back on my way home, and I look in the trash.
Oh no, it's already in the trash. Well, at least you can reclaim it.
Reclaim it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like already got coffee stains.
Right. Well, part of the reason, besides the fact that we have such a history and that, you know, I really love your art and your work, I want to talk about your career in using creative and alternative ways to make some money from what you do, other than just like getting signed with a label, because you don't have a label. You're a one-man show kind of, right?
Yeah, and proud of it.
And that's the kind of thing that I'm encouraging people to find ways to do in their own lives. Like, figure out how to get your own scene going is one thing that I really promote. Like, home economics, take doing what you love and find a way to make that into a living. And I think you're a perfect example of someone who's done a pretty good job of that. I mean, you've got a nice place here, you're raising a family now, and you say that you went you like off the day job kind of thing full time since January, right?
Yep. I mean, it's been a long time coming, you know. So, but basically, I was in a band called Mose Haven. You've heard some of our music.
Yep.
And we'd write beautiful, epic, heartfelt love songs. Nobody bought them, because frankly, you can't sell a good love song unless you have a huge media machine. You know what I mean? But we also wrote silly songs like Pickle Sandwich and Shut Up Your Monkey. Just dumb, silly songs. Fun, though, you know?
Yeah.
Fun. And I noticed on iTunes and Spotify, people would find those songs, because there's a million songs about love, but there's not that many songs about pickle sandwiches.
Yeah, they're unique.
So I was like, oh, okay. People are looking for wacky, weird, silly songs. And so for the last 10 years, I've written 18,000 songs like that, with just about weird topics, which, you know, sounds like a crass commercialism, like almost like a cynical thing, but frankly, I was singing about pickle sandwiches before I knew they could
like
make
you
me money.
sold out.
I wasn't selling it. It was just what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I liked doing it anyway. I just focused primarily on that for the last 10 years, and the money started trickling in, and people started finding out about me, and so every month I get money from iTunes and Spotify, and on top of that, I do custom songs for people, where they'll be like, my brother would love it if he got a song about him for his birthday,
Yeah.
so they send me all the info about the brother, and I sing a fun song for them. So it's like, you can't just make it from one source of income, you know, but like
Right.
if you're getting a little from here, a little from here, a little from here, it adds up, and currently it's enough to live on, but, you know, I reserve the right to go back to the real world.
Well, sure. I mean, you know, you can never have too much money. But what I like about what you're doing is it's creating. I don't know if I want to say passive income, because you had to work hard actively to make the songs. But once they're up there,
Yeah.
they're just money coming in.
Yeah.
And I also like the strategy of basically, instead of just creating like one album that you work on for a year or two and try and sell millions of copies,
Yep.
you're creating so many songs that as long as a few of them get downloaded, you're getting paid, and it's basically a piecemeal. You know, it's like, rather than, you know, you're spreading your nets very wide, and you're
Yeah.
able to scoop in people with interest from all over the place.
Yeah, and I might luck out at some point and have one mega hit, but
Yeah.
in the meantime, I have 18,000 songs. If each song was making me $2 a year, and I'm not even, on average, I'm making less than that, but if I were, that would be $36,000 a year from songs that I already recorded.
That would be
you know?
amazing. Like, I would take that.
Yeah, currently it's about 20,000 a year from all those songs, total.
That's still really awesome.
So I'm earning
though.
a little over $1 per song, which, if you put out an album with 12 songs on it, you'd be devastated. You know, like,
Right.
I put out this album, it's made $12 this year. You
Yeah.
know, but I put out 300 albums with, you know, an average of more than 50 songs per album.
Which is enables you to have more songs for one cost of uploading it, right? Isn't
Yes.
that how it works?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're basically working the system, and I don't say that in a negative way. I see that as that's what in agorism and counter economics we're trying to do. We're trying to take these systems that are designed to make money for other people and to kind of give the artist just the leavings of it. It's like we can take that system back, and that's in a way what you've done with what you're doing.
And I don't have to share it with anybody.
Right.
You know, there's
You're not
no
splitting the
agent.
cost.
There's nobody.
Yeah.
So you know, if you need to make a lot more if you're working for a record company, because
You got all these other
record
people
company
to pay.
takes most of it. So
Yeah.
if you own it, if it's all yours, then all the income is yours, which means you have to make way less.
Yeah. So tell everybody about Motern National Media Day, or what's the word for it?
World Motern Day.
World Motern Day. Sorry, I should assume it's a
holiday,
worldwide.
yeah.
It's a holiday here. Before you tell us about it, let me just say that last year I heard about this. I saw a notification about it, and I tuned in, and I was totally pleasantly surprised by all the new Matt Farley songs that I discovered. But tell people what that is and how that works.
Yeah. So I just thought, like, maybe it'd be good to rally the troops one day a year and to get everyone to listen to my music. So I made, it's like a 6-hour playlist on Spotify. It's called Official Motern Media Playlist. And basically, I'm just asking everyone who's interested to listen to the playlist all day long. I make about $1 to $1.50 if you listen to all the songs. And, you know, the dream is, you know, millions of people listen, wow, that's a great day. But the reality is hundreds of people listen, and that's still way more than I would earn in a typical day.
Yeah.
And it's a good way to get, you know, it's kind of fun. Let's all rally around this music. And what I do is, you know, we have the wacky, silly songs, the weird songs, and then every once in a while I slip in this, like, heartfelt tune, and you're like, whoa, wait a second, where'd that come from? And you know, win a few new fans, just kind of raise the profile. It's June 3rd. So June 3rd is a Saturday this year.
Coming
Just
up.
hit play on the old Spotify playlist and let it run. Come in and out of the room, and each time you come into the room, you'll be like, hey,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Gotta say, people, it costs you nothing to do this.
Yeah.
You won't regret it. I did it last year, and I'm going to do it again this year. And, you know, honestly, I don't see why you couldn't do it every day. You don't have to.
You can.
You don't have to wait for World Motern Day to do it. But if you're going to do it at all, that's the day to do it.
Yeah.
Make a blitz of it and learn some of these songs. Because, I mean, there's some genius material embedded in these 18,000 songs. Can you talk a little bit about? I really appreciated your your approach with making songs with different names for people asking them to prom, or the celebrity. The celebrity one's a really good one. Like, that gets clicks.
Yeah.
Put a celebrity's name in the song.
So again, I accidentally discovered through a song called I Love Hugh Grant that we wrote in 2004 that people go on iTunes and they type in the names not just of musicians but of random celebrities. So I was like, I should make songs for when people search that. So I've written songs about thousands of celebrities, and I mean, they're frankly, just me on the keyboard singing about how great that celebrity is.
Can't go wrong.
It's not necessarily high art, but it's funny. It cracks people up, and I get a half a penny every time someone listens. So everybody wins.
And I actually, when I was perusing your database of your archives of files, I found that you wrote a song about Jared Padalecki.
Oh yeah,
he's a good friend of mine. Do you know that?
Oh, no way.
Yeah. He's the one that I told you I went to L.A. for a while to hang out with.
That's him.
He's there's a character in Los Angeles, the book that we were just discussing when we were doing a different interview.
Available at Amazon.
Yeah, it's one of my books from a long time ago. Jared Padalecki was inspiration for one of the characters in that book. But anyhow, when I listened to that song, I was like, oh my gosh, he's singing about Jared. I totally need to send him that. I still haven't done it.
He's heard it. I've seen a video of him at like a Comic-Con.
Really?
Where some girl's like, have you heard the song about you? And he says no, and then they run up on stage and they play it.
Oh my gosh, I gotta see the video.
That's one of my biggest hits, because I don't know why.
Well,
there's a lot of obsessive Jared Padalecki.
No, you're right, because he hit that market, which makes me think that sometime in the future we gotta get all of us together.
Oh yeah,
Jared Padalecki,
just like we did now, just record.
Yeah, just get a thing with him. He's a musician too.
Yeah, he seems like a cool. He had a good. Because I don't know, a lot of people could be poor sports about it, but when he heard the song, he was just like, "Oh, that's cool." He had a good attitude. Because I feel a little weird. I'll admit it when I'm singing about these people.
Like Scarlett Johansson farts.
Scarlett, I'm sorry, but it's true.
He's not making anything up there. Well, I love your approach, and I really want to highlight what you're doing as an example of how you can live your own life and do what you want without feeling like you have to conform to the typical model of going and selling your hours every single day of your adult life to somebody else.
And while you're working your regular job, and there's no shame in having a regular job, but if you have the other passion, keep in mind when you get home from your regular job, you have to kind of be vigilant about those hours, and like how many hours you're watching TV when you get home, and it's probably too many.
Yeah.
And frankly, you could be accomplishing something that might be of more value to you in the future. Just to start, watch 1 hour less of TV and work on your passion each night, and then I bet that hour will turn into 2 pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Just wanted to throw that out.
Yeah, that's great advice, and I feel like a lot of people have a lot of creative things that they think of and that they want to do, but sometimes they think, oh, well, I'm not a musician, I'm not a writer or an artist, I can't do those things. And you can. You can and you should. And we live in a digital age now where I feel like everybody could be making their living, not just from their art, but maybe there's a little bit of work they do that's also something they love.
And it feels so good like, I know when you think when money's involved that it becomes tarnished or something, but no, not at all. It's a representation of the fact that people appreciate what you're doing. So that's cool. And Bukowski, right? Didn't he work in a post office?
That's right.
And he's Bukowski.
Art can be created from all sorts of circumstances, and really living in life, if you were just a full-time artist and you didn't go out and have experiences in the world, it'd be hard to come up with things to write about or to sing about. So go out and have adventures is another thing I always advocate. Go out and enjoy this world and treat it as if it's a playground for us to just be here and take experiences away from.
Or treat your day job like that too, because it's hard to run out there and have an adventure. But if you approach each day of work as I'm a journalist reporting on what it's like to do this job, then suddenly it's a whole different feel to it.
Totally. Okay, so before we wrap this up, I want you to talk briefly about your films. I haven't seen them all. I gotta say, Freaky Farley is a classic, and Manch Vegas. Tell me the title. It's a long title.
Monsters, Marriage, and Murder in Manch Vegas.
Monsters, Marriage, and Murder in Manch Vegas. Another great film. The first one I saw of yours, and I love the films. Where can people find them? Are they available?
Yeah, Freaky Farley is on YouTube for free. You can watch it there. There's a movie called Local Legends, free on YouTube.
Another good one.
They're all pretty easy to find. But basically, I like homemade, low budget horror movies from the '80s specifically. Not for the gore and the killing, but for like for the interplay between the actors.
Yeah.
Many of whom are not trained or good. You know,
Right.
quote unquote good, I should say. So we kind of write movies that celebrate that kind of stuff, just the weird, uncomfortable dialogue and the cheesiness. But
Yeah, cheesy is a good word.
in a way, like, we embrace it. We're not being mean about it. We're in the same boat. So we try to make movies in the same way that those movies were made, which is without a lot of time, without a lot of money, without a lot of quote-unquote talent. But we've got heart. We replace it all with heart. Everyone involved in the movie is like a good-natured person, just giving it their all, having fun. If we mess up, we're not purposely messing up. We're messing up because that's the best we could do. And I think that's charming. So, you know, they're kind of comedies, good-natured comedies disguised as horror movies, essentially. And it's fun. It's so much fun. Again, I drive a car that's 16 years old, you know? Why? Because the money I would have spent on a newer, better car can be spent to make this movie. And I would much rather have a finished movie than a nice car.
So talk about like when you're making these movies with other people, who's producing them? Is it mostly you, or does everybody contribute to the financial cost of it?
It's me and one other guy, Charlie, the director. You know, but the cost is just $5,000 to $10,000 per movie, which is a lot. Don't get me wrong.
If you don't have it, that's a lot.
It's several years of saving on my part, but in the world of movie making,
that's a very low budget movie.
Yeah, that's like the budget of like the food for one day.
Yeah.
You know? So you know, and just relying on the goodwill of others, because we don't pay our actors, we just give them pizza. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, super cheap to make, but we're pretty proud of them. Who am I kidding? I'm super proud of them. I watch them regularly, and it's so much fun just to sit back and be like, hey, we did that. We did that. The movies don't bring in any money, but we still do them, and who knows, maybe they'll catch on someday. Maybe they won't, but frankly, I'd rather have a bunch of movies on my shelf than have watched every episode of every TV series.
Yeah, you're actually contributing. So find the movies and have a movie night. Get some popcorn.
Yeah, you'll
watch
have
a Farley movie. You'll love it.
It's good-natured fun.
Tell us the latest one you just made. I haven't.
Slingshot Cops. And we're working on getting it on Amazon Prime, so it might be there soon. Slingshot Cops. It's a buddy cop movie in which I'm like the young brash cop, and my uncle is the old grizzled vet, and we have to take down an evil entity who's stealing people's senses.
That's wild. And also, you just put out an album on vinyl, correct? Mm-hmm. Is that available to people, or how can people find that?
Motern Heartburn is the name of the album. It's on through my website, and it's only on vinyl. I figured, you know, I have 18,000 songs available for free online, essentially through Spotify and other streaming sites. Wouldn't it be cool just to have something that's kind of exclusive?
Yeah,
you know?
This is a good exclusive.
So if you have a record player, and it's good, I'm really proud of it. I listen to that. I don't know how I recorded anything, because so much of my day is spent listening and watching my own work.
Well, I'm looking forward to listening to it. I haven't actually heard it yet. I just been given a copy, so as soon as I can get hold of a record player, I'm going to listen to it. And I'm looking forward to kind of catching up with a lot of the old original Moshaven and a lot of Matt's other work, because when I was back in Oregon and I had a lot of time, I was, you know, had time on the computer, I did a lot of listening, and it's been a while, and just from talking to you today, there's so much that I've missed out on that I want to catch up on, so I'm looking forward to that, and it's super great talking with you. I really encourage everyone out there to look into Motern Media. Is that the name of the website?
Yeah, moternmedia.com.
Perfect. So moternmedia.com. Check it out. Go to YouTube. Find Freaky Farley, a classic. You won't regret it. So
yeah, and keep in touch with people. You know, like we met in 03, and he emailed me, I emailed back, and now here we are. 14 years later,
right?
You know, almost exactly. It was this time of year, I'm pretty sure,
yeah,
like April-ish. And it's like, you know, reach out to people, because people want to meet each other. You know, don't be intimidated or think, oh, why would they want to talk to me? In fact, my phone number is 603-644-0048. Just give me a call.
Give him a call. He'll answer it. And yeah, as he says, when you meet someone who's got something going, reach out to them, write them, send them a line. It's amazing how much can come from just that one little connection that you actually reinforce. Because I mean, you meet people all the time, but the follow-up is where relationships are built on and where lives ultimately weave together over years and over a lifetime when you just take the effort to stay connected.
Yeah,
so
we'll see each other again.
Definitely, we're cooking up all sorts of ideas for future stuff. Who knows when? But you know,
yeah,
we don't have any time limit. We got the rest of our lives to keep doing our thing. So
yeah,
man, it's great talking with you, and thanks for all the work you do. Thanks for giving us so much great music to listen to, and
this has been fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care, y'all.